Got a bunch of Dolphin news to talk about, and let's recap what happened this past weekend. What is up, Finn fans and some football fans? Like I said in that cheesy little intro I do for mostly every video, we're going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins actually coaching the Senior Bowl. We're going to talk about some All-Pros. We're going to talk about what happened this weekend. Yes, I was supposed to make this yesterday, but having a baby kind of falters your schedule a little bit. Next video will be the Q&A. I have all the packages to my right, so I'm going to answer about 11 questions and then get to the packages. Also, we are very, 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 very close to 20,000 subscribers. I think a little over 100, 116, give or take, or 106. So when that does happen, I think I'm going to go live for a little bit, do StreamYard, let you guys jump in. We can all celebrate together on breaking 20K. But before we jump into any Dolphin news, I have to shout out Big E. If you don't know who Big E is, go follow him on Twitter. Also, he does a great podcast with Dolphins Talk. He does a great, 2-minute drive. He does all of these fantastic things. He was on Good Morning Football. I'll pop the picture up. You guys got to go watch it. He is one of the finalists or the finalist for Fan of the Year. He had to go up against so many different fans of the year, and he's representing the Miami Dolphins. So Big E, I hope you're watching this. Congratulations, brother. I'm so excited for you to be on Good Morning Football. Well deserved. I'm saying if you don't know, but I'm pretty sure every Miami Dolphin fan in the world knows who Big E is. But congrats to you. Also, real quick, I knew this was going to happen. I didn't really talk about it much, but the All-Pro, Xavier Howard and the Sandman, Jason Sanders are all pros, which that's where you see the difference between a popularity contest of the Pro Bowl and the All-Pro, which is actually like a legit one that I take more seriously. We got Xavier Howard as a first-team All-Pro, and then Jason Sanders is a first-team All-Pro kicker because he had the best season when it came to kicking. But that's that. Let's talk about what happened the other day. And that is that the Miami Dolphins and the Carolina Panthers are going to be coaching the Senior Bowl. Yes, the Miami Dolphins are going to be coaching the Senior Bowl. This is what Brian Flores had to say about coaching the 2021 Senior Bowl. The entire Miami Dolphins organization is excited to take part in this year's Senior Bowl. In this unique run-up to the draft, the Senior Bowl will be a great opportunity for our coaches' personnel department to interact with these players for a full week. We're looking forward to working with these prospects as part of the premier event with a tradition of featuring top-tier talent. So this is a rare opportunity for a team that has done very well. Normally, the coaches and the teams that coach the Senior Bowl are up on the higher end of the draft. So sometimes you would expect to see like the top 2 picks, like the Jaguars and the Jets. Or I know they like to do AFC and NFC teams, but you know what I'm saying? Like you get the top few picks to do it. Yes, the Miami Dolphins are picking 3, but that technically is the Houston Texans pick. So in the order of who would come next, it'd be the Dolphins have to wait till 18 because that's their actual pick. So to have a 10-6 team coaching the Senior Bowl is rare, and it's awesome. It's extremely awesome. Now, the Senior Bowl is January 30th. So they're probably going to start to get ready to go down there and do their thing. And if you guys don't know this already, and I'm pretty sure you guys do know this, the Miami Dolphins don't have an offensive coordinator. Now, them taking the Senior Bowl job, does that insinuate that they're going to, hire from inside the organization, which is a possibility? I talked about that with the tight ends coach, Godson, I think his name is. That is a possibility. Or they have something lined up and they're going to move in and do their things. Because as of right now, it is the 12th of January, so they have 18 days before the Senior Bowl. So we'll see. We'll see if they start bringing in people. We'll see if they pick it up this week, being that they are going to be coaching the Senior Bowl. The other thing, like Brian Flores said, this is a huge opportunity for the Miami Dolphins to coach, get front row seats, to interact, to talk with these draft prospects. Huge. 2 firsts, 2 seconds. This is a very important draft for the Dolphins, especially if they want to continue to build off of the success, continue to build off of what they've done, 5-11 to 10-6. So if you can just imagine, they win every five game up. So next year we're gonna go 15-1. The year after that we're gonna go what? 20-0, and then the year after that we're gonna go what? 25. I'm kidding, but no, for real. They build it up. So if you see they have a method, they have a plan, they're sticking to it, and by sticking to it, they're getting better and adding young talent, adding good talent, and adding a team players. It's working out very well. So for them to be coaching the Senior Bowl is a huge advantage. Now here's the other thing. Like I said, it's a rare opportunity, but some of the guys, because we already have the roster list of participants in this year's Senior Bowl, some of the opt-outs are not doing the Senior Bowl, like that big the stud pass rusher from the Miami Hurricanes who opted out. He will not be at the Senior Bowl. Swelly will not be at the Senior Bowl. So some of these top talents that opted out will not be at the Senior Bowl. So you still don't understand or see what they are doing. And I'm going to talk about this because, like I said, I have a ton of videos planned where we're going to talk about draft prospects. Cannot talk right now. We're going to talk about free agents. I'm going to talk about who the Dolphins should cut, who the Dolphins should re-sign. I got so much stuff planned for the offseason, so if you haven't, hit that subscribe button. But also when it comes to the draft, I'm going to do a special video talking about the opt-outs and how that affects their draft capital and how that affects how teams are going to look at them, because we don't know what they've been doing this past year not playing football. Have they been working out? Have they been hanging out with their friends? We don't know. So that's something in another video I will talk about. But like I said, this opportunity for the Miami Dolphins to coach the Senior Bowl is a fantastic one, and I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited, especially because, like I said, the scouting department for the Miami Dolphins killed this past draft. I absolutely think they killed it. With the amount of draft picks they used and the amount of starters and potential good starters they got out of that draft, Tua Tagovailoa, regardless of what you think about him, got to look at he's solid. As of right now, he's solid. Austin Jackson, solid pick. Robert Hunt, solid pick. Solomon Kinley, solid pick. Landon Roberts, solid pick. Even Ferguson, our long snapper, is a solid pick. Then you have, Strawbridge, you have Igbenogany, you have, Malcolm Perry, who saw the field a little bit here and there. Those guys, I'm not saying they're busts or anything, because you got to wait for them to develop with all our draft picks. But if you look, we got like 5 or 6 solid picks out of it. And last time I talked about the draft picks, a lot of people were about, what about Lynn Bowden Jr.? We traded a 2021 draft pick for Lynn Bowden Jr., so he's not considered part of last draft. And Matt Breida is not a draft pick. He is a free agent signing. Well, he's a trade, but he's not a draft pick. So if you look at what we've brought in and you look at what the scouts did with not being that hands-on, huge opportunity for this Miami Dolphins team. So I'm very, very, very excited. And I was supposed to record this yesterday, but again, for my dads out there, you guys know what it's like to have a child and how things could just go a little awry. But a quick recap of the Wildcard Weekend. There was some good games. We're going to start from top to bottom. Buffalo Bills beating the Indianapolis Colts 27-24. Good game. Josh Allen showing why he is good as he is. Diggs showing why he is good as he is. But even the Colts showing that they are someone who, and a team that is on the up and up. Now, I will say towards the end of the game, that fumble that they didn't call a fumble, and then they challenged it, and they were like, yeah, he didn't fumble. Bad call. But Bills ended up winning. But if the Bills ended up losing, I'd be pissed if I was a Bills fan, because of his knee wasn't down. The ball came, and I was just like, wow. I'm painting the baby's room on Sunday, and I stopped to look at it, and I was like, wow. And I said it loud. Like, I was like, wow. And my fiance was downstairs like, what happened? I'm like, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with the room. It's football. Don't worry. Like, crazy. Also, I said this in a tweet. I'll say this again, as much as I hate the Bills because I'm a Dolphins fan, and whatever reasons I have for hating the Bills, they haven't been to the playoffs in 25 years. They haven't won a playoff game in 25 years. Dolphins, it's been, 18 years since we won a playoff game? Dan Mitchell, I don't know if he's watching this, but Dan Mitchell and all the Buffalo Bills fans, congratulations. It's been a long time coming for you guys to win a playoff game and to get in the playoffs, and you did it. Congratulations. And we'll see how you do next week against the Baltimore Ravens. Then we have the LA Rams beating the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle and Russell Wilson had a horrible day all day today with consistent pressure in their face. That Rams defense is probably the best defense looking at all the rest of the teams. That Rams defense is something to be taken seriously. Goff came in, even though he was injured and just had surgery. He came in, he did his thing, he's managed the game, didn't lose it for him. They got after Russell Wilson and just shut that down. So Rams are going forward. I picked opposite on that one, so I think that's like one of the few I got wrong. Then you're looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Heineke, I think that's how you say his name, and the Washington football team. At first you thought, at some point Tampa Bay was just completely demolishing Washington, and all of a sudden Heineke throwing passes, doing his thing, showing that, hey, yeah, I might not have played much football. I'm not considered a starter, but you put me in the playoffs. Look at what I could do. Great game by them. Like you said, Tampa Bay won. Ravens taking on the Titans. I'm telling you, both 1 o'clock games, Bills, Colts, Ravens, Titans, were just fantastic games. Fantastic games. Ravens win 20-13. Shut down Derrick Henry. Ravens had a plan going in. They executed that plan and shut down Derrick. At one point, I think it was 10-0. We thought, Titans are going to do it again. The last 2 times before this game, the Ravens played the Titans completely just manhandled the Ravens. So we thought, I was going to do it again. Then Lamar Jackson loosened up. Lamar Jackson started running around, doing his thing. They shut down Derrick Henry, forced Ryan Tannehill to throw it. He throws an interception. He only throws 1 touchdown. I don't think he broke 200 yards passing. And the Baltimore Ravens are going on to face the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. I cannot wait for that game. That's going to be a fantastic game. Then we have the Saints taking on the Bears. I think we all saw this one coming, 21-9 victory for the Saints. Again, not much to talk about there. Saints ended up doing their thing. Kamara doing his thing, taking out the Bears. Final game, the Cleveland Browns. First and foremost, Cleveland. I know the Bills haven't won a playoff game since 25 years ago, and they haven't been to the playoffs in 20. But the Browns finally getting that off their back. Browns. He didn't just beat the Steelers. You embarrassed the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger needs to retire after that game. Ben Roethlisberger looked like doo-doo butter. I don't know what he was looking at, what he was doing, but he looked out of sorts, and they need Steeler fans might come after me, but I think it's time for you guys to sit it down and hand the reins over to a new quarterback. Maybe draft one. I even tweeted out, don't be surprised they try to move up and get Wilson, BYU quarterback, if my brain is working correctly. Have Mason Rudolph and him compete, but I think Big Ben needs to sit it down. But you got to give it to him. Got to give it to the Browns. It didn't matter who they handed the ball to. They were scoring touchdowns. Nick Chubb, hand the ball off to him, score a touchdown. Throw the ball to him, he scores a touchdown. That team, Jarvis Landry was just completely all over the field. Baker Mayfield had a solid game. Browns just shut it down. You could tell from the first snap, that snap over Ben Roethlisberger's head for a touchdown for the Browns, you were just like, whew. But give the Steelers some credit, because at some point they brought it within 12. But then the Steelers defense just couldn't stop the Browns from doing whatever they wanted to do. Now the Browns have a big game ahead of them, heading to Kansas City to take on this Chiefs. If they want to continue the success, they need to beat the Chiefs. I said it in a tweet, and I was looking at all the playoff teams, and I'm like, who am I rooting for? Obviously, I want the Packers to go. My fiance is a Packers fan, so I want the Packers to go to the Super Bowl. I think that'd be fantastic. Aaron Rodgers deserves it. He deserves another Super Bowl. First ballot Hall of Famer, deserves another Super Bowl ring. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I like Cleveland. Not because of how well their running game is doing and how well they're playing, but I always root for the underdog. And Cleveland is such an underdog, especially coming in. They almost didn't make the playoffs. If they would have lost to the Steelers week 17, which, again, Steelers, you're dumb for resting your starters, not because I'm bitter Dolphins fan, that if you would have beat the Browns, we would have got in versus the Browns. But you're dumb because you look rusty going into the first half of that game. But no one really... I like Cleveland. I'd love a Cleveland Green Bay Super Bowl. Is it likely? We'll see. We'll see what they do against the Chiefs. If they beat the Chiefs, then I'm like, hey, it's not a bad choice. I'd like to see an old school Super Bowl. Cleveland, Packers, some of the first NFL football teams, AFL, whatever football teams. That's what I'm rooting for. But be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think about Big E being on Good Morning Football. What do you think about the All-Pros? What do you think about us coaching the Senior Bowl? And what do you think about this past weekend? Be sure to comment below. Just so you know, the picks for this upcoming weekend's playoff games will be out Friday like I normally do. But let's get to comment of the day. And this comment comes from the Triple S podcast. He says, "Hey Doug, comment of the day. No one is talking about this, but should the weapon needy team take a flyer out on Odell Beckham Jr.? Cleveland could move off him since they have to pay Baker soon and need defensive help. We ship a third or a fourth and or say like Bobby McCain in exchange for Odell. He'd be a great number one to be Tua's go-to guy." Fins up. First off, Triple S podcast, thank you for the comment. It's a good comment. That's why I picked it. But no, I'm not going after Odell. If you go back and look at Odell's injury history, if you go back and look at Odell constantly being banged up, not being able to make the field for a full season, I'm not dealing with that again. We had to deal with Preston Williams not having a full season. When the kid's on the field, he's dangerous, he's dynamic, but he's just not being able to stay on the field. Devontae Parker, he had his good year last year, but then this year he kind of went back to being dinged up. If we want to build around Tua, we need to get consistent weapons around him that don't sustain injuries. If you asked me right now, who would you prefer to trade for? Would you prefer to give up a third or a fourth for Odell, or would you prefer to give up a second for Jarvis Landry, maybe even a late first? I would go for Jarvis Landry. I think Jarvis Landry is a dynamic player. I don't think the Dolphins ever should have traded him away. I'm so pissed off at Adam Gase about that. That was like strike number one for me with him. But I'd prefer Jarvis Landry. He's consistently on the field, whereas Odell is consistently injured. But thank you for the comment, Triple S Podcast. That is the video. Like I said, next video, which is either tomorrow or the day after, I'm going to open all these packages. I'm going to answer all the questions. End of the year Q&A. It's a little late, but hey, better late than never. Am I right? Also, when we break 20K, like I said, I'll go live for a little bit. We'll chat. It's going to be fun because we're all celebrating together. It's not me going at 20K. It's us, because without you guys' help, we'd be nowhere. But other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.